I've uploaded the first video that you watched, and it's up here on YouTube. Okay, we're gonna show you how to really optimize this on YouTube. You want to optimize on your blog, but you also want to make everything search engine friendly here on YouTube. So once your video is uploaded, you're gonna click on Edit, and you want to come up with a very relevant title, but you also want to do something else here. Another important point. You want to do this thing that we call title stacking. This is easily the most important step in optimizing your YouTube listing for SEO, or search engine optimization. Title stacking is basically the practice of listing your keywords twice in the title with slight variations. Let's use the example of a photography blog, and you're going to talk about how to take pictures of birds. We'll use that example again. So what you could put here in the title, you could put how to photograph birds with a colon or a dash, tips for taking great bird pictures. Okay, how to photograph birds, tips for taking great bird pictures. Now, this is a keyword phrase, and this is basically saying the same thing. How to photograph birds is really the same thing as tips for taking great bird pictures. So now you have two keyword phrases in your title right here, and the reason that is important is because title stacking actually gets you double relevancy in YouTube. You're actually getting an opportunity to rank for two keyword phrases. Does that make sense? Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is you want to come up with a very relevant description of what is in the video. And this is another opportunity for you to layer your description with some very relevant keywords, which will help people who come to YouTube when they're searching and they type in certain keywords, they come to your site. Let's say you have a dog grooming blog, and you have dog grooming tips, great ways to home groom your poodle. Okay, now you have two keyword phrases up here, and down here you also want to have a description that talks about dog grooming. In this case, of course, we're talking about blogging. So here is my description: learn how to create income producing blogs. There's one important keyword phrase. Using Blogger. There's another important one. This blog building instructional video, there's a third keyword phrase, demonstrates the basics of setting up your first Blogger blog. There's another keyword phrase. People may type in, when they're searching for a video, they may type in create income blog, create blog using Blogger, how to create income producing blogs, how to build a blog, all of these things. And so just with the title and the description, I've got a bunch of keywords in there. Does that make sense? Another important thing is you want to include a link to your blog right here after your description. Now, some people would suggest that you put the URL to your blog at the beginning. I think it looks better to put it at the end if you're going to have a short description. Some people would recommend that you have a very lengthy description, several paragraphs, and if you want to go the extra mile and do that, that would be great, because there's more opportunity for you to embed some keywords in there. And you don't want to come up with keywords that aren't relevant. You want to have plenty of keywords, but you want all of them to be very relevant to what your video is about and what your blog is about. So I prefer this particular format where it's a very short but fairly comprehensive description, and then the URL at the end. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to come up with your keywords. They also call them tags. So in here, you want to have, again, keywords that are very relevant to your site. If you had a dog grooming blog, you'd want to have dog grooming, how to home groom your dog, great ways to do dog grooming, and the numerous other keywords that you can come up with. If you're not sure exactly what keyword to come up with, then you can just go to somebody else's YouTube channel and see what keywords they're using. Let's say, for example, you were going to do a photography blog, and you weren't sure exactly what would be the best keywords. You could type in photographing flowers. Let's see what we have. Okay, here's one. How to photograph flowers in the studio. So you would want to click on this, go down to where it says show more, and here is this particular person's keywords: flowers, floral arrangements, flora, photography, photos, environment, instruction, how-to. So this would be a great set of tags to use on your particular video that is a how-to video on taking pictures of flowers. My tags are right here: blogging, blogs, blogger, how to build a blog, how to build blog. Okay. Now you don't need to separate these with commas or anything. If you'll just type one right after the other, this is considered one keyword right here. That's why it's in parentheses. I don't have one keyword that's how to, and then one keyword that's build, and then one keyword that's blog. This is one keyword here in parentheses: how to build blog. Does that make sense? Okay. Next thing you want to do as you're optimizing your YouTube channel for this particular video is you want to come up with a relevant category. Since my blog is about making blogs, then this is a good category: people and blogs. You can pick the thumbnail, and this is the first thing that they see when they look at your video before they've even pushed the play button. I just leave that to the default setting. You certainly want your video to be public. I strongly recommend that you allow comments, but with approval only. In other words, YouTube will send you an email when somebody comments on your video, and then you can accept it or reject it. It's going to be important to do that because you do want comments, because it adds more content to your video and your YouTube channel. But you also don't want a bunch of spam, so you want to be able to reject the ones that are worthless. So here you can, on comment voting, you can decide whether you want to have people comment on your video or not. Sometimes people will send you a video in response to your video, and here you can decide whether you want to receive those or not. Here you can click on this and decide whether or not you want people to rate your video. Here you can, if you click yes, then people can copy the YouTube code from YouTube and embed it on their website, which is really cool, because then you have your video not only on your blog but other people's websites and blog. And that's why it's going to be important for you to have the URL at the beginning and end of your video, so that if somebody else does take your video and put it on their site, people who view it on their site will still know where it comes from, because you're going to have your URL in the video itself. If you notice on my videos, the very last thing that you see is the URL creatingincomeblogs.com. And then of course you can also, if you want it to be syndicated, you want to click this: yes, make this video available on mobile phones and TV. Okay, now that you have a good title, a good description, the right tags or keywords in there, the right category, we have all of our other settings how we want them, then you're going to go ahead and click Save Changes. Okay. Now that I have my video uploaded and I have everything the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and click on the video. I'm going to pause this for now down here. Here's my title, which was also, by the way, the file name of the video. Creating income blogs using Blogger was the file name. You can see here I have my URL at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure it's also at the end. You want that. The video is public. I'm going to click on Show More right here. We're just checking everything. We're just going to check everything. Check our description. I want to click on this link and make sure it works. Make sure it takes me to my site, and yes, it does. Here's our category, our tags. Now, all our work on YouTube is done. Now we want to take the YouTube code and put it on our blog. So I'm going to click on Share, Embed. You can pick the size that you want, and you'll want to experiment with this depending on the size of your blog. I'm going to use the 420 times 315. I would suggest not checking this one, show suggested videos, when the video finishes, because then there's going to be other videos about blogging that are going to come up after yours is over. We don't want them to leave the site and go somewhere else, so we're going to leave that unchecked. And we're going to enable privacy enhanced mode. It basically does not give YouTube permission to put cookies on your computer or anybody else's computer when they watch the video. YouTube uses what are known as cookies to collect information. Cookies can be used to store data about the user's computer or the user watching the video, and YouTube uses those cookies to help maintain their statistics and prevent fraud and all of that. So I'm not interested in all of that, so we're going to enable privacy mode, which means YouTube will not be putting cookies on your computer. So here's our code. You're going to click in there, left click. It's highlighted now. You're going to right click and grab copy, and then you're going to go back to your blog and paste that in, and that's going to be the subject of the next video. Okay, so go to the next video, which is part 4, and we're going to take this and actually create our first post now that we have all the YouTube business taken care of.